Welcome to another edition of Quick Take. I'm your host, DJ Briscoe, aka HD. Again, this episode will be available on Spotify, Podcasters, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and of course YouTube. So check it out. Keep your eyes and ears open for this. My quick take today is on the historical event that was happening last night in Los Angeles. LeBron James Jr., LeBron James Sr. starting together, first time in the history of the NBA. It happened. Oh, sorry, not starting, playing together. Bronny coming off the bench. And there's so much mixed reviews and comments and all sorts of stuff. And my takeaway from that is, why is it such a major issue? Why is LeBron getting a moment with his son after 22 seasons, over 66,000 minutes on an NBA court, going to be 40 December 30th, all-time leading scorer? Why can he not get what he wants? I think he should. There's a lot of guys that have been drafted that shouldn't get drafted in the NBA or any other sport. There's a lot of guys who have worked for a company and got a job because their friends or family or somebody that they know got them the job. There's a lot of that going on and still going on. But again, I'm going to take it there because I am. You see, the problem is because it's LeBron James, a very successful black man when it comes to his basketball career, and finally has the opportunity and the power to do what he wants in certain aspects of the game of basketball. It's a problem. But when billionaires are putting their sons in positions to succeed and most of them fail, nobody says anything. Most of them don't succeed. You see these rich second generation kids and adults walking around, got handoffs from their parents. Some of the parents sent them to school, said, look, you know what? Go do what you got to do. Example, Vince McMahon, both his kids went to university and then they decided they want to work for the company. But everybody knows the story with Vince McMahon. They know how tough Vince is. They know what he is about. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But again, most of these guys, they put their kids in fantastic positions to succeed, and most of them fail. For example, Jeannie Buss. You know, there's a lot of people kissing her ass, and I'm not talking about her as a female. I'm talking about her as an owner, because there's a very, very large amount of successful entrepreneurs out there in the world that are female. Females that started their own businesses and have become absolutely fantastic at what they do. Jeannie Buss didn't do anything. She was handed something as lucrative as the Los Angeles Lakers franchise. And as far as I'm concerned, has done absolutely nothing. So her granting LeBron and her or whoever, Rob Pelinka drafting Bronny, so what? How many second round picks have been drafted and nobody talks about them? They were drafted because maybe they knew the GM or they knew this person. Nobody talks about that. And then another thing I heard Stephen A. Smith discuss today on First Take was, oh, how much money he got. So what? Why are you worried about his money? Worry about yours. I'm sure last I checked, he's asking for a big payday from ESPN. The moral of this whole story, folks, is mind your own damn business and worry about what you have to get done. LeBron James is not hurting nobody. He's not affecting anybody's pockets. He's not changing anything. He's not doing anything. But now let's go to the basketball part. That's where I'm going to be critical. Does this help the team long term? And is LeBron about winning? I'm sure he is. But is he about the Lakers first? You got to take care of family. Like he said last night in the interview, family first. Family first. So he's going to take care of his family first. He's been doing it for over 20 years. He's been the bread maker. He's been pulling the loaves out of the oven for the last 20 years and serving them out. Family, friends, whoever. He's been the core. 66,000 plus minutes he's been on that court, making money, TV endorsements, all sorts of stuff. And he knows that Father Time is going to knock at his door soon and give him a call. He ain't going to send him a text. He's going to give him a call. So we're going to see what happens after that. Because I want to see a healthy LeBron post-NBA career. I always want to see, when you're in the game of sports, you're in the game of basketball, you always want to see people after the game continue to do what they do. Continue to be the best version of themselves, because leaving the game is tough. But that's a whole different conversation again. But is LeBron's focus on trying to win a championship? Is his focus on this? Is 7 seasons so far in Los Angeles. He's got the pandemic championship. So, I mean, besides that, nothing has happened. So, I expect the Lakers to do something. Anthony Davis, that's a whole different conversation. Is he going to be able to play 70-plus games? Is he going to be locked in? Is he going to be dialed in? I think the last time he was dialed in is when he was with DeMarcus Cousins, and that's one of my favorite tandems in the history of the NBA. I don't care what anybody says. You could criticize it, but when DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis were together in New Orleans, wow, they were special. I actually took time to watch those games. So, but back to LeBron and Bronny, congratulations on doing what they wanted to do. And whatever happens after that, well, that's what it is. But most of these people outside, most of these billionaires, these white billionaires would do exactly the same thing. And yes, I'm saying it. You don't think Bill Gates would bring his son into Microsoft? Jeff Bezos bring his kids into Amazon? You don't think Robert Kraft wasn't going to bring his sons in to the New England Patriots organization? You don't think Jerry Jones wasn't going to bring his son, Steven, into the Dallas Cowboys organization? The Hunt family in Kansas City? Tony Khan, how did he get his hands on money to buy AEW? I don't think he worked for that money himself. I'm sure his dad gave him something. We got to stop this. We got to stop digging at LeBron and shooting at him when it comes to him taking care of his family. The basketball aspect, we understand that this is not really a good move for the team in terms of winning, because when the Lakers win, the league wins. I don't care what anybody says. There are certain premier franchises in sports, when they are winning, it helps. It helps the balance. It helps TV viewership, business, all that other stuff. Because there's Laker fans all over the world. I know plenty of Laker fans, and I don't live in Los Angeles. So, and I'm talking about loyal, long-time Laker fans. I'm not talking about part-timers, because there's tons of part-time fans out there who don't know what they're talking about. Fanboys and fangirls. So, and to Michelle Beadle, who has so much to say, a very interesting person. Michelle Beadle, who's an individual whose mother is an immigrant from Italy, who could not speak the language for who knows what, came and put herself in the position, her mother, to be successful. The audacity of Michelle Beadle to come talk about anybody. The audacity for her to say that. Mind your own business and focus on getting yourself going. You want to sit on the microphone and criticize and talk about, and then talk about, I would cheer for Deshaun Watson and all that stuff. That's your problem. Keep your anger and your emotions to yourself. Michelle Beadle. Like, come on. Some people are just sick. She's one of them. It's just unbelievable how some people will just come out here and talk about it. And how did she get her opportunity working for ESPN? How did she get into the San Antonio Spurs commentary business? From what I read and from the sources out there, she didn't earn it. She was given an opportunity based on who she knew. So the audacity to talk about what LeBron did and his historical moment with his son and all that is absolutely pathetic, and it's a joke. Go sit your ass down and go do your little podcast and leave people alone. I just don't understand how people could be so critical of other people when they don't look into their own box and find out what's going on in their little box. You know, there's one thing to critique people, but there's another thing to criticize. We've all criticized LeBron, certain things that they like, that we like, and certain things that we don't like. But to get personal with him, no. That moment with LeBron Jr., with Bronny, was a personal moment. I understand it totally. I understand both sides. I understand the basketball side of it, which in a good sense is not great, but in the personal sense, I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So that's my quick take, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of the Unscripted 101 podcast. This will be available, as I said, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Peace.